Alright. We are in Daily 602, where we're learning why Stardust is a better gamer. I have a green screen. What other cool things can we do as a result of this? Oh yeah, I can totally do things like this, like... Wouldn't it be cool if you were playing and I was like, macro. I mean, there's just so... Let me actually give reasonable feedback. So, what would happen if we got thrown way the hell off course? What if, in fact, we never even got to get started? Can we use any of these lessons we've learned from Stardust, which would be de-emphasizing gas units like Colossus, Voidray, Templar, and emphasizing upgrades and mineral units? Can we use that? Well, yeah. Down in this bottom corner we have Stardust playing Jaedong. This was game 1 of their best of 5. Nexus goes down first. Again, he doesn't do this in all of his games, but however you want to do it is fine. Watch what Dr. Dong is going to be throwing on down. He goes for a nice, good old hatch, gas, pool build. Starts an early pool. Queen coming out, just two. Stardust does his usual thing, begins doing that there, chrono busting out some goods. Everything that we're seeing out of Jaedong would indicate that he's an intelligent player, checking all the rims of things, but also hiding lings. Hiding all them lings. Zealot does manage to find a third base, so if you are Stardust, you're going to be thinking, oh, I'm totally safe. And then all of a sudden, Zerglings begin streaming in. Now, in this game, Stardust actually did something a little different. Stardust was preparing on doing this kind of all-in-ish type thing, but he's literally never even going to get to throw it up off the ground. His Warp Gate research is not going to be finished. Is he even going to get another sentry out? I don't think he starts another sentry. Nope, he doesn't get another sentry started. It's +1 attack. Does that get started? Well, or does that get finished? No. That was a pretty cheeky move, throwing down the force field at quite literally the last second. So there's a forge. And, yeah, okay, alright, nice. What the heck now? We're behind on all of our tech. I think it's reasonably safe to say that we could just pretend that nothing happened. We could throw down 2 forges and start 1-1 and a robo. Or we could just start +1 and we could begin getting up, yeah, we could just sort of transition into that same build that we saw last game. However, let's take a look at what Stardust actually does. Beginning to make sentries out of regular old gateways, building a pylon up the top side. Doesn't really know much other than that Jaedong probably had to screw himself over, really mess up his own tech to be able to pull that sort of shenanigans off. For some reason I thought things happened faster in this game, so I was like holding my breath until he threw it down, but no, there's the 2 gateways. Alright, cool. He's just going for some 7-gate aggression. And this is what people would generally describe as like a super all-in move. First, let me note, huge abundance of sentries in these mixes. Freaking huge, like 8, 9 sentries, just big-ass amounts. Sending a probe out into the mix. When I remember watching this, I was like, alright, yeah, I think this is a reasonable choice. He's throwing down some stalkers. Okay, yeah, he's just going all in. Jaedong starts to throw down a whole bunch of extra defenses. He's getting like a ton of Zerglings. The Zerglings are coming in from behind, locking everything off. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, there's really not a good way for the Protoss to bust through here. Now, what do you do as Protoss? Because I'll tell you what I do. I just go, oh, that sucks. And then I go all in, right? That's how I do it. It's exactly how it goes every single time. But we see Stardust going, oh, well, okay, darn. Let me just throw down +1 armor. Now, keep in mind, Jaedong has 4 hatches up, has this layer up. I think Jaedong's play is quite brilliant in this position. More sentries coming up. Holy cow. Not a lot of stalkers. Just 1 warp in rounds worth. I think the doubling down there is pretty neat. Just keeping strong at those 16 at each place. And then very slowly working his way at chipping all this stuff down. Uh-oh, might run the risk of losing this. No big deal, just chills. This is incredible patience. And then he's like, okay, well cool, I'll just go for Forge and my Twilight Council. Very easy in this spot to stop all teching, but upgrades are a super, super powerful move here. Almost all of Stardust's resources are going into zealots, and he has all the gas in the world to get charge and 2-2, and to force his opponent to not really be comfortable. I mean, if Mutalisks show up, we already know that, for one, I don't really think it's possible for them to show up. I mean, Jaedong can have 5 Mutalisks right now. Okay, we're not that worried about that, but still. If they did show up, we know that, you know, well, Zealots and Sentries are quite strong against that. There's the 2-2 incoming. There's the Robo Facility, and just gears up to expand. Now, how the hell are you able to expand in the midst of all this? Well, because if you look at the income, which I actually thought would be bigger, well, whatever. I'm trying to think of how to show this. Alright, let me see if I can do it like this. Ah, yeah, 30 seconds to do a Zealot Warp and cooldown. So we have basically enough to be going max Zealot Sentry out of all this stuff. Minus just a little bit. And in fact, that just little bit is, you know, if we just don't do a warp in for 15 seconds, great, we can use that money to build a Nexus. It's not like with Stalkers, where we essentially we bankrupt ourselves. And these counterattacks are so good, but Stardust has super zealots. So this is just a weird-ass force. Just super, super weird. And hey, there's the ability to transition to Zealot Archon. Hey, what do you know? The Zergling counterattack becomes too big, and he just takes the opportunity to blast right in there. Doesn't even have charge, just 2-2. And as an extra cool twist, 3-3 comes up. That's a hell of a way to play a 2-base Protoss style. 7 Zealots warping in at a time, 2-2 Zealots. Gets the GG. Now, of course, it's not all fun and games. When, like all styles, things have weaknesses, and I'm going to show some of these right now. Quarterfinals, Stardust vs. Hyun, Akalon Wastes. Cool. So one thing that Stardust likes to do is to open up with a big Zealot Stalker all-in, which I don't actually find to be that great. I especially don't think it transitions that great. Guys, ++D. Oh. Oh yeah, Magician's noting something in chat that I keep not mentioning, even though I totally should. Sentries can hallucinate. And they can hallucinate Immortals that also do have the Hardened Shield upgrade. So that's another good way to push through. Oh, by the way, yes, Ludicalos Ludicalos? I don't even know how to say her name, but I know how to type it. So I always type KKK. Like, you know, like, hey, you want to get dinner? Like, KKK. It bleeps it. This is, like, really hard when I'm, like, the host at, like, you know, DreamHack or an MLG or WCS. I'm like, you guys ready? And the guy's like, yeah, I'm ready. And then it's just like, I'm like, KKK, like, I'm going to start. And that just looks weird to them. Because I'm like, hey, is everyone ready? And they're like, yeah, I'm ready. And I'm like, fuck. And they're like totally confused. It's really fun. Anyways. I just want to speed this up to show this failing. So let me just note what's cool about this opening, all the openings we've seen from Stardust, is that they're very balanced in terms of the range. So we can throw down these two geysers and pull 3 out of this one when the Overlord is starting to get down to this side. Now I want you to look at your clock timings. Hey, what do you know? What do you know? There's a zealot that moved out just there. There's a stalker coming out. While this zealot was doing some attacking there, what? Oh, he got a probe out. Oh yeah, cool. He's going to be heading down there. And then around 6:30, uh-oh. Well, we wouldn't want our opponent thinking that we're getting cheesy, right? So we're just going to go ahead, and just where he can have an Overlord, we're going to be throwing this down. The timing's a little late, but oftentimes you can get it to pull off anyways. You throw that down. No units are going in there, by the way. Only 1 geyser worth of gas. And then we just throw down 6 gates. Easy peasy. And we see Hyun going for his lair, going for his speed, going for his rochis. And then he sees it. So with 7 lings on the map, can he hold it off? And the answer is, of course, man. This is Hyun we're talking about. So I think this is a reasonable maneuver by Hyun. Or excuse me, by Stardust. He's just going to try to go for the 7 gate. He needs to get a little bit more aggressive with that pylon placement. He can't quite have them that far back, but he does go for this push. It doesn't quite pan out. Doesn't quite pan out. And as a result, he gets that there pooped on. I think that this push was erroneous. I think that when the first one really failed, he should have just cut his losses then and began doing that there transitioning. But we can see the same ingredients. Both these upgrades, starting to go for masked sentry. I would probably expand here. I think Stardust does 2. Does he? Yeah, there it is. 2 1-ups and then immortal. So you can kind of see how it's pulling back into the same lookish thing. But we just don't quite have enough, and I think he's forced to cancel this. I would still just re-expand and kind of hang out. That's still the thing that I would do. We see Stardust try to go all in. He is all in. And now we see the theoretical anti-force. Holy shit! Holy shit! The light fell over. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Alright, let me get the light back up. Oh my god. Woo! Oh my god, that was terrifying. I just saw it, just like, and I was like, no, 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 and then I got it. Whoops, wrong button. This is theoretically the anti-force. We have 2-1 zealots versus G. No lings and some roaches, and we have force fields. We saw how bad that went with no force fields. Yeah, see, by the way, this is what I mean by, like, you don't really have good abduct targets because you pull them up. There's tons of units here anyways, so, I mean, you can target fire him, kind of. It's still kind of stupid how good everything is. Still kind of stupid. Oh, well, we don't have 1,000 sentries. We just gotta have work on that. Despite the fact that Hyun is kind of battering it down, like all game long, he's still struggling. He's trying to engage in as open a space as possible. There's a nice abduct. There's a nice abduct, but that's how you do it. Oh my god, someone take a screenshot. I love green screen. I'm like, all the cheesy effects. Still have a little bit of flickering above the hairline, and if I lean back, the hair still disappears. Like, I can actually, like, you can. It's fucking crazy, man. It's nuts. Let's take some questions, and then I'm just going to wrap up. Oh. Let's pull this out of the way, because I forgot that's on screen. Excellent. Okay, this does need to be on screen. This is really important. Yes. Get it. It's a good day. It's a good day. All right. All right, let's close this. All right. From X, Lopial X, wondering for the longest time what the shirt is about that I'm wearing today. First of all, it's a heart, and it's a top 10 iPhone app game that my roommate made. Puzzle Juice, Puzzlejuice. Puzzle Juice. I'm trying to trace it while I look. I went the wrong way. Furbeck says, Day 9, can Swarm Host come out before you attack with Sentry Zealot? And if so, how would it fare against it? It can, but you really won't have that much. And you build 2 observers, or Stardust has been building 2 observers, so he'll be fine. Do I think the game is balanced? Well. Alright, okay. Oh, so good. Alright. Oh, Anton Bischoff Frederick. How would drop play fare against this? Seems like layer tech can be in the game, so it wouldn't be an issue as far as having it would help force fields. Yeah. Yeah, in fact, I mean, like, the hardest of hard counters in this spot is just going to be the Baneling drops. Just destroy this. But I don't really know how you would prepare the Baneling drops in advance. I don't know. Let's see here. Manbon says, in one game, 50% of the army were sentries. Are sentries really that good? Yeah. They actually stack in terms of utility the more you get. Because you can, like, you know, force field forward a row, and then force field it closer to you. And then, like, force field trap an intermediate row, so you can kill off this front, and then kill off the intermediate row. So good. Let's do 2 more questions. Oh yeah, Screamshot says, what would be a decent transition if this isn't a game-ending force? Just comfortably transitioning into Zealot Archon with Robo support. Really strong, because you'll have 10 gates, 6 gas, Robo, all your tech done, heavy upgrades. You can just easily slam right through them. By the way, as I'm waving, yeah, the green screen doesn't deal very well with aggressive waving, but it can deal with, I mean, this is pretty impressive. That this is like a really simple green screen setup, as you can tell. Oh wait, there we go. Cool. Last question. GMS Dancer Girl just says, what if you decide to go mass roach instead of a mixed composition? Very reasonable question given how prevalent people's propensity is to go mass roach. Stefano did it in 2011. It's 2013. I believe people do it a lot still, like so freaking much. And this style donkey punches that. I will just assure you that the donkey punch is substantial. And if you don't believe me, go to the arcade and look up Hoth Unit Tester and see said destruction in action. Oh, gotta ban someone in the chat. And ban... Oh, he doesn't exist anymore! Woo! Bam! Guys, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be doing some analysis and stuff. I don't know of what yet. I don't know. I was spending the whole time without a computer. It's really hard. It's very emotionally difficult for me. And what I'm going to do now is say goodbye. Friday's going to be Last of Us. And we're playing The Last of Us, man. Until then, let's listen to my great music. You're all so sweet. You're all wonderful. Thanks for watching.